Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Another deck profile for you. As you've probably seen by the length of this video, it's going to be a long one. So we have Trevor doing a Mastemon deck profile. He won Galway, got his invite to Dusseldorf with it. He then went to Bristol and played it in some side events because he wanted to break from it after Galway. We're doing this deck profile a little bit different. I'm going to be on the side of the camera asking you some questions to maybe help get some bit more detail from some cards. This led to an interesting way of doing the video. But as you can also see from the length of this video, it led into a long one. So this is going to be a bit of a in-depth guide to Mastemon. Without further ado, Trevor, take it away.
Hi guys, here for Mastemon, which as you can see are lovely finalist stamped eggs. But yes, so I'll just jump right in because I don't think it's much needed to be said much. So, know a lot of lists of Mastemon has been running, what do you call it, Salomons and, or not Salomons, Neanomons and stuff. We are still on the lovely Tokomon. Don't know what to say, well, cards out of the security, draw one. I mean, you know what they say, draw power's the best power.
Did you feel like you missed any memory at any point with the deck?
I mean, you're giving so much memory to your opponent. Honestly, I don't feel I missed memory, but I mean, I can see why you'd want extra memory now and again, but I didn't feel I missed memory. We'll sort of see as it goes on, because I think a lot of my costs are probably high costs. But yes, so we're running the Tokomons, so we'll move them over there. So with our rookies, we have our Patamons. Again, technically best yellow rookie, I think, if you're running vaccine.
I don't think anyone would argue with you. It really is. If you are running a vaccine in yellow, Patamon just became the go-to.
Yeah, honestly, just free Digivolve from security. But I mean, on top of that, though, there is no level force in the deck because it never hits. I mean, you're just one of them things, so it is. But yeah, so that's a deck profile. Yeah, 50 patas. Yeah. But no.
So at this point, we should bring up, this is your only rookie you're running.
This is the only rookie I'm running.
Before this, when you played this list in Galway, you were running 2 Kudamons, and you've dropped them for something else we'll get to later in the profile.
Yeah.
How did it feel with running 2 less rookies?
I don't feel like I've missed anything. As one of our friends has said, what do you call it? You're always going to hit the rookie you want. There is only 4, but yeah, I haven't felt I've missed them. It's still in the testing phases. We've only had a few games with it at 4. I don't know how I feel just yet, but it seems to be working so far, so I'm not going to dis-argue with it. But yeah, so yeah, Pata, best rookie in the game, I mean, what?
Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, that way you never miss a thing.
So we'll move on to our level 4s that are non-existent in security, because they never exist in security. We're running, obviously, our 4 structure deck, Gatomons. I mean, on play, search 3, purple yellow, still pretty solid, but probably the best thing about this is the devolution reduction, and the end of turn is still a good thing.
I think when we were looking at many different lists to try and help build this for BT23,
yeah,
I think the only thing that every Mastemon player agreed on
100%
was this Gatomon at 4. If anyone ever said 3, they were like, nope, you're a fool. It was every other part of the deck where arguments were made. This is the only thing anyone ever agreed on.
90% of your Mastemons can play this for free. It is a top 3 search for 2 cards. It literally, on play, if you have one of the Mires that let you Digivolve from trash, I mean, it just it makes that Digivolution from trash 0, so if it's played for 5, it super synergizes with the overall scheme of Masty, which kind of works out in your benefit a lot of the time.
Yep.
When you're missing cards, perfect card, especially since we're not drawing a lot, since, we've only 4 rookies. kind of helps on that part. So yeah, no, definitely, I feel like this is probably one of the best level 4s. I mean, there is other good level 4s, but I feel like if you see this, you're always off to a good start, because with a Pada, if this shows up in security, you're basically to a level 5 for 1 memory, which is... Or sorry, 0 memory, because technically you get the one back from the Pada, so, I mean, yeah, I mean, it is super, super solid in that regard. But yeah, it's kind of one of them things. I think it works very well, it synergizes very well.
Do you think there'll ever be a day where that Garamon doesn't exist in Master? Or do you think this has a home permanently?
I don't think this will... I don't know if it'll always stay a 4, but I feel like it'll always be in the deck. I doubt that just with the reduction of devolution and all, there's no way it leaves the deck, if you know what I mean. So, like, yeah, I think it'll always have a home. I don't think it'll be always a 4 of, but, like, yeah, definitely at the minute 4 is the key strategy. But we'll head to our another... So, you're going to see a lot of cats here. Let's just face that. We have another Gatomon. BT23 in general. This one is kind of synergizes super well with Gar, with the Pada, because, let's face it, you know, one, you digivolve into it, it sees itself leaving security, you get 2 memory instead of 1. The barrier makes it just insane, especially on inheritable, like, having inheritable barrier when you don't have, like, barrier on the line, it gives you extra swings early on. And later on, when we talk about the new Master, again, synergizes super well, because you literally play it out, you trash your own security to 3, if it sees the trash, it gains a memory. I mean, I've never had an issue with it being anywhere, especially on the trash point. So the new Master trashes from your security, so like this is a 4 of, means if it is trashed, it plays itself out. Gives you more board presence. It's just super solid. I don't know what else to say about it in regards to that.
The question becomes, so the next card in your list, people play that one more often than they do this one in lists that we've seen. What draws you to playing this as your higher version of the trash?
Honestly, I don't know if it's maybe because I play against you so much on Safaga. But inheritable barrier is pretty good on Masties that don't have barrier. Getting extra chip damage if you need, like on, say you don't have the like new Mastie, like if you go up onto your Lady Devi or Angel Woman, you can have a free swing that has barrier. I mean, it gets you extra chip damage if you need it. Obviously, a lot of the time you're not looking for it, but you know, it's still pretty solid. I like the memory as well. I feel like a lot of lists that we looked at that's running the next or level 4 as like a 4 of, and this is a 2 of. I think they have the aspect of Neanimon, which when attacking gives them the memory. I think this one kind of it's pretty solid, especially if you end up in certain situations where you need to do Gato Rush. I mean, I've been there. I have like swung with about 4 of these.
So when you bring up memory, it'd probably be fair to say that you value having more memory gain to make a bigger play with.
I feel at the level 5 ratio, yes. I feel especially with a lot of, on top of that, Masty trashes so much that having the barrier just on other lines is solid. I don't know if I value the memory more or I value the barrier. But like it comes up so big all the time. I've never thought about the need for the other one to be a 4, if I'm being honest. Okay. But we'll move on and we'll talk about the other level 4. So since we're so clearly on it, it is Repamon. 1 CS traded. Insanely good for the fact of Mirai. Totally beast as well, so it works for the old Mirai to digivolve from trash. So, like, I mean, it's pretty solid. Like, I mean, it also has a trash from security effect, which, again, kind of plays into the whole Mastemon. We're getting out lots more bodies. It makes it harder for our opponent to go, I'm going to shut you down, because you always tend to have a body even after all their plays. Obviously, its on play when digivolving is pretty solid as well. It lets you try, or it minuses 3,000 to begin with, so you can take out a floodgate if you need with it. However, if you need to do a bit more, you can trash from your security to minus 6,000, I believe it is. I think it is. It is 6,000. You can minus 6,000 from your opponent's security, which it's insane if we're being honest. By trashing your security, I said opponents there. That would be really good. However, it is to the end of your opponent's turn as well, so you get good around unaffected, boys. I've actually turn skipped with this a couple of times, I think, from what I remember in a couple of games, just by hitting DP reductions on aces and stuff like that. I don't know if it was older versions of the build where I've had a wee bit more DP reduction, but it's still pretty solid. Its inheritable is also minus 2,000, so again, could get rid of quite a few of the blocker rookies, so it's pretty solid overall.
So, because your list is not running though, did you ever miss the Gatomon, the EX6 one that had the on-play when digivolving?
So I know when we've been searching, when we were testing up to the fact of, like, what do you call it, getting the tournament for my invite, which was Galway.
Yeah.
I know when we were, like, testing, what do you call it? We tried that as a 2 of, I think. We dropped 2 Gatos. Honestly, like, the search is nice, but it didn't really feel like it added to the deck, if you know what I mean. Like, I already had enough draw power that it just kind of felt substantial, if I'm being honest. I would just rather have, I'm going to remove your rookies, or I'm going to play out bodies, I'm going to maybe turn skip you if you have an ace. I mean, like, it just didn't feel needed, but, like, each to their own. I know there's a lot of people that run them. I think maybe there is a place for them if you're on a different build of the deck, but yeah, like, honestly, I haven't missed them. I'm waiting for the day I go, if that was just a apologies for the language, but I'm waiting for that day to come out. Honestly, though, I haven't felt like I've missed them, no. Honestly, Rappa is pretty solid, though. I wish I could go more. We tested a lot of level 4s, I feel, in this build. We've tested, like, the one of Geogrey to play the Mirai for free. We've tested, like, a lot of other sort of ones, like, that can kind of help with, like, searching, playing stuff for free. We've tried the Rush Devi, I think, in it as well. I didn't like that.
You've played a lot of different one-off tech options to, like, have a combo strategy here or there, but ultimately you've fine-tuned it to this kind of, like, accelerate the one plan.
Well, it's accelerate the one plan and spit out bodies as quickly as possible, really. He is right. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid level 4, if we're being perfectly honest. But I guess we'll move on to Masty's best and most fun level 5s. So we'll start with Lady Devies, because Lady Devies seem to be the way to start. We will start with our BT11 Lady Devi. It's probably not going anywhere anytime soon. It's solid recyclability of your Lady Devies and your Woman's Masties when digivolving. You know, you get to trash, you get to grab Mirai, you get to grab Lady Devies, Anjos, Masties. It's so solid. The thing about it, I feel like at the minute, especially with trashing your security being so big in Masty, it gets you back Mirais if you're missing them. The other thing which will come in very good later on is the your turn effect for playing an Angel Woman or Mirai. What do you call it? Giving the memory. Literally at the minute, with the way Masty has been, I feel like that has come up much more bigger than I expected it to.
Well, I mean, when these cards first came out, both this and its equivalent Andrew of the Gain of Memory,
yeah,
we had the Mirai that let you play the other half.
Yeah.
So you were always only ever gaining memory from playing the opposite body.
Yeah, yes, you were always able to, but like I feel now it's accelerated a lot more.
I would say now in recent sets, like that memory gain's not just from playing an Andrew or a Lady Devi, like thanks to like the BT23 Mirai, like you can now actually get that more often and stuff.
Because you can bottom deck by a Mirai. It triggers one of these if they're already on your board. You have like
the one set has done so much for the deck that effect has become so powerful.
Yeah, like honestly, this is why I'm on top of that. Like, because obviously we will talk more about the Mastemon, the new Mastemon as well. The new Mastemon has partition, which this being played out in your turn from partition, you're playing out the other Angelwoman, you're playing out the Angelwoman in the line as well, which is gaining you a memory out of nowhere sometimes. Like, this is what I mean. I don't feel like I've ever missed the memory game at the bottom end. I'd rather just have the draw power to see my pieces, like of the Toga. I feel like this is just, like, as a 3 of, you're always probably going to be recycling one of them into another one if you have your pieces. It's pretty solid for that. The opponent's turn retaliation also pretty solid. Not that you don't have barrier pretty much 90% of the time on this list, but yeah. Speaking of though Lady Devies, we'll move to the new Lady Devi because obviously it is quite insane, so it is, from what we've seen, which is our BT23 Lady Devies. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. What were Bandai thinking? Like, flipping. If you have an Angelwoman, if you have a Lady Devi, it's reduced by 3, so it becomes a 4 cost.
Also, if you have a Mirai.
Also, sorry, Mirai or Angelwoman, yes, sorry, that's what I meant to say, so it is. But yes, it becomes a 4 cost. A 4 cost level 5 is just ridiculous in and of itself. Again, on play when Digivolving, delete a level 4 or lower, you're not worried about blocker floodgate rookies. You're not worried about like low levels that could potentially, like level 4s that could come a level 5 ace. You're just going to remove them. They have naturally have blocker. Again, so solid. Like, because playing one of them out gives you an extra blocker if you don't have the inheritable. They seem insane. On top of that, they have Scapegoat inheritably, which has come up more times than I can say just for keeping a Mastemon on the board that can accelerate your game plan, really.
The other thing to bring up about it was technically go hand in hand, the Angelwoman with this. So we spoke about BT11 memory gain, like you say it's a 4.
Yeah.
So when you combine this with the BT11.
Well, we're going to talk about it next, so we'll just put it there. Yeah, when you
combine it with its BT11 counterpart, it's not a 4-drop.
It's a 3-drop, yeah. And if you have the Mirai, the EX, I think it's EX6.
You've got BT11, EX6.
Sorry, EX6, yes. When you combine it with the EX6 as well, this becomes a 3 cost just with that Mirai as well. Honestly, and then on top of that, this is why I've felt I haven't struggled as much with the rookie count because they're 4 cost. With that other Mirai that we were talking about there, if you have this and the new Angelwoman, the counterpart of this, which is the new Angelwoman, if you have 3 memory with that third Tamer, you get to drop this for 3, you get to play the other one for 4, and then you get to end of turn DNA anyway, which is kind of ridiculous because what that Masty's costing you 3 and give your opponent 4 memory. I mean, if you're really bricked, there was hands I was seeing these and I was debating heavily keeping because as long as you have a Mirai, it's a 4 cost.
I mean, I do remember one game in particular in practicing. It wasn't against me, but you had a very bad hand to the point where your first turn was cost of 4, drop the EX6 Mirai.
Mm-hmm.
Then your next turn, they give you enough memory that I think they left you on 3, where you literally went, okay, cost of 4, drop one of them, use Mirai, gain the memory back, cost of 4, the other one, end of turn DNA. And from that bad hand, you turned to Mastemon and just took control of the game.
Yeah, that's kind of what it does. It is kind of insane. Literally getting the one Masty just gives you control of so much on the board because your opponent has to think very much about what they're doing. I think, what was it as well? I was really badly bricked actually in my last game as well, and before I got the invite, that I was like, I thought for a fact I had lost, and they hit one Mirai, I think, in security, and that one Mirai, because I already had a Mirai on board, they hit one Mirai in security, and I think that one Mirai turned into 3 promo Masties, which just completely swung the momentum, and it's because these are forecast. Like, if these were any higher, I probably would have lost that.
Also, to be fair, in that particular game, not only they hit a Mirai, but they left you with a Lady Devi and an Andrew on field. And they left you on one memory. And the Mirai they hit was BT11, just to really set the stage for this.
Yeah.
So, like, at your start turn, you gained a memory, went to 2. You had an Andrew and Lady Devi. Then that board became 3 promo masters.
Yeah. And on top of that, like, if it wasn't for the cost 4, though, like, I don't think that would have been possible, because, like, as well, yes, we were on 1 memory and we got back up the memory slightly, but, like, I feel like if it was any more than 4, I probably would have lost that, because the turn would have passed. It would have just lost in their game. But yeah, like, it is kind of insane, like, what they can do, and we will talk more, because I actually think this is the less broken of the 2. But sure, we'll move on to the other side, shall we? Which is our lovely Angel woman. I'm almost lifting one too many there. So we have our BT11. Yes, we talked about the 1 memory. On the Lady Devi, I think it's a lot better. The 1 memory game. This one, I feel, yes, it's good, but there is other Angel Womans that have a place, which is why we're only running 2 of this one. What do you call it? It's inheritable as the blocker. Yes, it sets up your defenses a bit, but, like, I'd put it, your offense kind of goes down a bit with this one, so we run it as a 2-off, because yes, the memory gain's good, the searching your security, recovering, again, good, especially if you have a Masty and you digivolve into this. Like, if you take something out and you put something in, immediately your new Masty is going to trigger. Like, a lot of it just kind of feels like it's started to focus in on Masty, and I feel like it's all because of the BT23 Masty, but we will get to that.
I mean, the other thing to point out, compared to the Lady Devi, so, like, when you're searching your trash, you always know what's in there, so you know what you're going to grab ahead of time.
Yes.
With security, as you've experienced many times, and I'm sure many Mastemon players have, sometimes what you're hoping to be in security is not always there, so this is a bit of a risk.
Yeah. On top of that, like, I mean, as we've said before, like, sometimes you even know there's nothing there and you still have to go for it. But, like, as I said when we were back on Pata, it was like, what do you call it? What's a level 4 in the deck? They're never in security when you want. The amount of times, like, my opponent has swung that rookie, hit a level 4, and there's been no 4s in there. And, like, it's like a, what, 60? We worked out the percentages. It's like 60-something%.
Someone calculated it with, essentially, their calculation was by playing 4 Patas and playing 10 level 4s that are vaccine, there is a 60% chance to open a Patamon and have a level 4 in security.
Which, even without opening Pata, the fucking percentage of level 4s in there sometimes is crazy. But yeah, I mean, this is still really solid. I mean, having the blocker, again, super good. Like, again, the memory gain on the Angel Woman, like, say you need this Lady Devimon to be played, it again just gives you the memory. Like, I don't think there's anything about them that is bad, but they're just not as good as Lady Devi at the minute.
I will say, like, just while we're on the Andrew, like, the big benefit Masty really has for its entire deck, compared to, like, a lot of other decks, is there is no area that is off limits to you. Like, you're able, via Gadamon, you can search your deck. Via the Lady Devi, you can search your trash. Via Andrew, you can search your security. Like, there's no part of your deck that's off limits to, like, try and look for a piece.
To be fair, there's also, like, the old Lady Devi, the structure deck one, that I know some lists are running, like, I'm not personally, because, again, I don't feel like I need it. But there's the trash and search, the top 3 for a purple and yellow Lady Devi, Angel, Archangel, Fallen Angel. It's like, it's more search. There is very few things in, as you say, Masty, that's off limits to search. I'm just waiting for the thing where we get search your hand for a but yeah, no, It's super solid. I'm running it as a 2 of at the minute. I feel like, yes, there's an argument to be made to go up on it. Like, there's no argument not to go up on it. There's, like, it's a good card. I just feel like I like the ratio where it is, where there is only the 2. But we'll move on to the rest, because you'll see what I've kind of sacrificed them for. So we do have another Angelwoman that is not the new one, which is our EX6. Naturally has barrier. Really solid on that point. It has on play when digivolving to play Mirai if you don't have one. Again, like, replaying a Mirai is not bad if you're in a situation where you can raise on a Gato, you can play Digivolve into it, you can play Mirai. If you're really badly stuck, like, I mean, the amount of ways to play Mirai in this deck, that's like pure last minute on it. Because you should never be stuck to the point where you don't have a Mirai. The Inheritable Alliance on an Angel Archangel 3 Great Angels, again, really solid. However, one of the things that is the on-play when digivolving, when you have a Mirai security -2, this is kind of where it's come up a lot, because it's removing, like, the potential for something to kill you. Like, say, I don't know if you're against, we'll use rocks as an example, but like, this being digivolved into or played when they have a stack out already and you just go -2 security, they cannot kill you. It kind of, it's a shitty matchup in general, because rocks 9 times out of 10 beats Masty because of their de-digivolve and delete. But like, there's also other decks where partition comes up so that on play this comes out at -2 security. Potentially it's a lifeline almost, but I don't know if you have anything to add to this one.
No, I mean, I think you've covered everything about it. Like, it's like you say, it is like that lifeline. It's an option that has to be run for certain reasons, like partition being one of them and stuff. But
yeah,
like, it's a answer to the point where if you didn't run it in the deck, there's probably a good few decks that if you ran into, you go, I don't have an answer to this, but thanks to this, you have the answer. So you know immediately if you're first in those decks, it's like, I need to find this piece.
I mean, I was going to say as well, another point about it is if you've lost a line and you're raising and you're going up your line again, you go into it and they're already at 3 security. It is a swing with barrier if you don't have barrier on that line. Like, it's a free swing before you DNA. Always something to note on it, because it naturally has barrier. You're not risking half your Masty as such. But yeah, I mean, overall it's a pretty solid card. I'm running it as a 1-of. It is a attack option. Honestly, structure deck kind of does the same thing. However, it's only on play, it's not when digivolving. And the structure deck one gives you security plus, which you are technically have with Alliance, and then on top of that, the only reason this one over the structure deck one again, because at Bristol, funny enough, in the team event, I ended up like with a really badly brick hand. I don't think I've ever had a brick hand like this, and because obviously 3v3s are best of 1, our opening move was just cost 7 play Angelo, play Mirai. And they were on Bagra and they couldn't punish it. So I just got the free body and the free Tamer. Like, obviously, like, we started coming back into the game, but it's pretty solid for what it does. Like, I mean, I don't see a downside to it. I just wish they'd had the same cost reduction as them new ones. But we'll move on. So, because we're talking about the new one right now, aren't we? So we're going to BT23 Angelo. Now, I believe when this first got released, like, there was talk in our group about if it was good, if it was bad. I said it was amazing. To
be clear, there was confusion with those talks where,
yeah,
like, some people were trying to talk, like, so I know, like, me personally, when I was talking about this, I was comparing this Andrew to its BT23 Lady Devon. I was not comparing it to anything else.
Yes.
And there were some people that were trying to compare it to like every other Andrew and every other. It's just like
I think a lot of them were
confusion.
Yeah, there was a few of them that were comparing it to the Ace, and they were like, "Oh, well, the Ace is a 4 cost all the time." And like, honestly, I think like originally I was like, you know what, I can see the argument to be made for the Ace, and then we started playtesting this thing, and. I honestly think this is probably the best level 5 in the deck at the minute.
You fell in love with this card very quickly.
It is kind of insane, like.
And to be fair, there's a lot of arguments to be made. So the fact, like, compared to the Ace, which is one thing that got overlooked by a lot of people until testing within our group, is the Ace has to trash in order to recover. Like, a security has to leave in order for the Ace to recover. This doesn't.
Yes, so this one, obviously it has the same cost reduction as the Lady Devi. So it's the opposite of Lady Devi, where it's where this one only reduces if you have a Lady Devi or Mirai. So on play when Digivolving, obviously if you have a top security, you'll have to take it. Then if you have 3 of your, so that means you don't have to have took in order to do this one, and if you have 3 of your, you recover 1. So it triggers your Gatos, it triggers your Apatas, it triggers your Tugas, I mean...
Triggers the Mastemon.
Triggers the new Mastemon. This thing basically triggers like 90% of your deck.
Yeah. Also, just to clarify for some ruling and stuff, like, because I know this is like... the wording can be confusing for some people. So if you're on 4 security when you play or Digivolve this out, and you take, at that point you are on 3 of yours, so you will recover. So 4 is still a recoverable stage. Because it doesn't say the word buy or anything like these conditionals where A has to be done for B to be done, its wording is you may do as like, you do as much as possible essentially. So if you are on 0 security, this will just simply recover 1.
Yeah.
Because of how its wording is done. So just to like clarify for like any ruling system.
And like let's face that as well. That's a 4 cost just recover.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like back in BT1, I think our Magna Anja, which recovered, was a 7 cost.
The other thing to note as well, compared to the Ace, where we said the Ace was serving a similar purpose in a lot of ways at the start. One of the big things to note is, so like the promo Masty, and I think even like the new Masty, they say about like 6,000 DPO.
Yeah.
At the very least, one of them mentions stuff like that. And the Ace is on 7,000 DP to purposely not be abused by that. But this one's at 6,000, which means it can be abused to recycle your security or to get your recovery up.
Honestly, like, I mean, you could always drop one of these for an Ace. Like, I don't see the downside of it. The issue with the Ace is one, you're giving overflow. This one's not. It's serving a similar purpose. It's not giving the overflow. The Ace was one of the ways, though, that I really used turn skip, which I kind of feel like I could miss a bit, but honestly, I thought I would. Honestly, it hasn't come up that I've missed it that much. The other thing to know about this one, and we haven't touched on, that is really good as well, its inheritable is just generic alliance, which is insane because, like, if you go to your new Masty, you play out one of these, or well, this is in the line, sorry, in your new Masty. If you have the turn, you're literally going, right, your 3 security, swing, trigger alliance, your 2 security, or your 1 security, sorry. Like, it puts a lot of pressure on. Like, and the fact that it's generic, if you go, like, say, we'll probably touch on some of my tech options later, if you go above a Mastemon, you still have alliance, which is kind of crazy to me. But, like, the card is just, I don't know, like the amount that it synergizes with the deck, because you have a lot of removing your security, adding to your security with it. It just, like, it synergizes so well. It is kind of scary. I personally run it as 4 of. I've seen, obviously, I was at Bristol, I was at Galway, I've seen a couple of lists. I've seen people run it as 2, I've seen people run it as 3, I've seen people run it as Like, I don't think I've ever shot under a 2, but, like, I've seen a lot of people sort of play around with the ratios. Like, people give up, like, down to that. And I'm like, how can you justify a 2 of it? Like, I understand the 3 ofs. I've personally ran it as a 3 before. It works pretty well as a 3, but I feel like missing that 4th copy was just so... Like, I just always want to see it. I think that was the reasoning. I don't think I've missed anything, unless you have anything to touch on.
No, I think it's everything. Like, the only thing to really mention is, like, we say about Alliance and stuff, like, just to talk about the impact that's had on Masty as a whole, is it's brought, like, the extra aggression that Masty's needed as a control deck.
I feel like what you're talking about, though, as well, the trashing to 3 kind of brought that extra aggression as well.
Like, yes, that's part of it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just, like, overall, like, say the generic Alliance from this card, as well as you've got Alliance from the EX6 Anjou and stuff, where it's just like, Masty has always been a really good control deck, but the downside is the pace that Masty took so far to get that game, the opponent, with how fast the game is today, and how fast, especially the OTKs and aggression decks are, there's been able to have enough time to recover, come back, and steal the win from, like, right under your nose.
Especially lately as well, we've been able to do that even worse now.
Yeah, so, but now, it's like, with this extra aggression, because, I mean, to put it in perspective, we had a practice game where you got me up to 6 security,
and then I took you out in 1 turn.
And you killed me. You killed me in that turn. Like, you wiped all 6 security and got the game-winning hit. And so, that's what I mean. Like, Masty not only has the control aspect that it already had before,
it
but
now has the ability to be aggressive to end games, because that was always a problem, because you were always playing on that control aspect, as Lumi said there. Like, but now you're playing aggression on top of that control aspect, which just kind of makes it really actually super scary, because, like, as you said, you went to say I put you to 6 security, I killed you in the same turn.
It's one of the things where, like, I feel a lot of control decks need, like, they don't need, like, I wouldn't argue they need, like, an easy OTK, because, to be fair, to get that, like, 6 security kill, you had to do a lot of setup.
Yes, there was a lot of setup. It wasn't just immediate.
Yeah, It wasn't just turn 4, I've got the game, bye. There was a lot of setup, there was a lot of gameplay back and forth, and then there was an opening. And that's what the control decks are looking for. They're looking for an opening to take advantage of.
But no way to normally take advantage of that opening. It was like...
Yeah, now it's like, you see an opening, it's like, right, you've got no aces ready, you've got no board, you've got no threats. I've got everything ready. I can now take advantage and put the pressure on. Yeah,
which is something Masty have missed for so long. But yeah, so obviously, I think it's a 4 of. I could argue the 3, maybe run an ace, maybe run something else, maybe another bit of search power, maybe if you want to go higher on the rookies. I can understand that, but that is what we're running at the minute, and I don't think I've been punished too badly for it so far. But we'll move on to our, honestly, the best card that Masty's probably ever seen, which is our BT23 Masty. I don't even know how to start on this card. Like, it's normal. Everything sort of, this part of it is normal Masty. Everything underneath is just insane. But, so, obviously, it's still a play cost 13. Obviously, they don't want us hard dropping fucking level 6 Masty on the board. Cost of 5 to normal Digivolve, which has come up a couple of times. Obviously, you still get advantage from hard Digivolving. We'll explain that when we get to the when Digivolving. Obviously 5 over CS as well. Obviously the CS variant, this is more the tribal variant. The CS variant obviously runs probably some that are maybe not Anjouans and Lady Devies. I don't actually know if they do. I don't think they do.
From what I'm aware of, the CS build, they run 4 Anjous and 4 Lady Devies, and they're both the BT23 ones.
Yeah.
CS grade. It's the level 4 and lower that's different.
Yeah, so I don't think the like Digivolve over a CS really matters too much. DNA, yellow on top of purple. That's, I think, pretty standard for Masty. Most Masties. I think the only one that was different was the promo. But yes, so 0 cost of DNA. And then we move on to its keywords, which I think are just fucking stupid. There's probably going to be a lot of cut words here, I think, but yes, the keywords are stupid as stupid could be. Like barrier to begin with, absolutely insane. And then we have partition, Angelwo, and Lady Devi.
I would say specifically when it comes to partition, so this is the first Digimon where we've had partition Pacific Digimon.
Yeah.
Every other partition in the game has been...
Well, was there not one or two? I think there's been one or two, has there
No,
not?
this is the first one that's had partition Pacific colors. We've had the likes of like Omnimon that's been like decode and stuff, but this is the first one where we've had partition specifically these two do. Every other partition's been the two colors that have made the respective Digimon.
But I mean, like, the partition alone with barrier, like, we're going to explain a bit more about this card, obviously, with the Wind Digivolve. We'll come back to the keywords, because the keywords are stupid. So they are. But anyway, we'll move on to the keywords. So the reason this works probably so well in CS to begin with, well, I'm assuming it was meant to be, but we'll go into the Wind Digivolving. So, when Digivolving, you may play a level 5 or lower yellow or purple Digimon from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Insane, especially with the new Gallimon we received. We can play from hand, so we're not worried about playing from trash. Probably, if you've got to this Masty, they're not going to have a memory or a play blocker on the board because you've probably gone to your Lady Devi, you've deleted it, you've done something to remove it. There's no way that it has lived to this point. What do you call it? The fact that you play one just from when Digivolving, like the cost of 5 doesn't feel super bad. You can get an extra body out if you need to. If you don't, it is what it is. But we'll move on to its other bit. So then, if this Digimon has 2 or more of the same level cards, trash the top, or trash from both player security until they have 3. That is just insane to begin with, because not only, like, say you were in this and they've somehow recovered up and they've de-digivolved this, as long as you have 2 level 5s in the stack, you can hard digivolve into this and trash them to 3 again.
Yeah, from what I'm aware, there's no part of this effect that requires DNA.
No, obviously the DNA gives you your 2 level 5s, which make it like 100 times easier to trigger it, but obviously, the card for that alone is kind of insane. Like, you're playing, if you're missing pieces, you play a Gato. If you have the Mirai that digivolves the Gato, you play the Gato. Like, I mean, if you're starting off, we play the Gato that we said about before. We gain memory. Like, there is very little on this card that is not good when digivolving, I feel. It is kind of insane. Then we have it's all turns once per turn, which is kind of like what makes this Masty so good. When a card is removed from either player's security stack, you gain a memory, or you can return an opponent's Digimon to, or not just an opponent's. You can put a Digimon to the bottom of the respective player's security stack. That's removal for your opponent if it's if you've trashed from your security stack, if you've trashed from theirs. Like, as long as one player's security stack's more than 3, when you first go into this, you're removing from their security stack.
It's a form of removal that almost pretty much no decks have protection against. Like, decks have got protection from being deleted, they've got protection from being bounced to hand or deck, like they've got protection from like almost everything, but there's practically no protection of being put to security.
It's the good half of Chaos Egg, if we're being perfectly honest, without Chaos Egg. But like, it is quite insane. Like, and not only this, so a lot of people, obviously, we've talked about the Neanimons. A lot of people have been running the Neuranimons for this all turns, which, again, I'll touch on it my way. I don't think you need the Neuranimons for this all turns. Like, you're swinging, say you're swinging this Mastemon, like, this Mastemon, one has barrier, which triggers its all turns. So, if they block with a bigger body, cool, I guess I barrier and I put your bigger body in security. You also have partition, so like there's no downside of swinging with this. Like, they remove you by effect, cool, partition out, Lady Devi Angelwoman. Like, the only thing that's scary for this is actually de-digivolve. And like, I know there's a lot of de-digivolve around. Realistically, them de-digivolving you is not an issue either, because it's bringing you back to an Angelwoman or Lady Devi or potentially a Gato. Like, the key words with this all turns just kind of makes this feel like a really well protected level 6.
The other thing to touch on with its all turns is a play that is opened up to the deck now. That
Yes, that play, yeah. When you have, so obviously we haven't touched on it yet, but this Mirai here, which is our BT11 Mirai, a play that has opened up. So you can DNA into this Mastai. You've retained the turn. You play out a Gado. You do all your stuff. You remove their body. You do whatever. You then swing. You probably trigger your alliance on the second check. A play that's opened up is, cool, this Mastai served its purpose. I'm going to put this Mastai to the bottom of my security. I'm then going to Digivolve the Gado and then tap the Mirai to play out the opposite one, which has opened up a lot of players with the deck, because obviously you can now...
Let's be honest, from that play alone, you can OTK, because when you play it, you Digivolve that Gado, you tap the Mirai, and then you DNA those two into promo, and you just use the promo to security the Mirai you've just used, trash that last one, swing for game.
No, 100%, it opens up that third variant as well. Something else that it opened up, which is kind of like, I don't think we've touched on, is like you can swing with a lower DP body now. And if it's going to die, you just stick it in your security instead of letting it die. I mean, like, this Mastai as well, like, I would love to go to 4 of in this Mastai. I think it clogs at 4 of at that point, but this Mastai is insane, if we're being perfectly honest. Like, yeah, it basically just turned around and said, you know what, Mastai players, we hear you, you need something good. And they give us something insane.
To the point the deck's doing, both versions specifically are doing very well in the meta right now.
Yeah, they're like insane at the minute. Like, both are doing things that we never thought we would be doing. But yeah, like, insane card, insane synergy, and like this has literally just tied everything we need Mastai to do together now, which is kind of like, because there was obviously the bits that were like, what do you call it? There is the bits that are like, were sort of like, oh, this Mastai can do this and this Mastai can do this. They're now like in. Yes, they do them, but they come back to this now, which is kind of like, it kind of like, this kind of bridges the like gap between them almost, which is kind of insane. So it is. But yeah, so like, yeah, Mastemon doing pretty good things for the deck. We'll move on from this Mastai, but like, everything about it is just ridiculous, and it's insane that we got it. So we'll just move to the next Mastai we have, because I think we touched on everything. I don't think we missed much on that Mastai now. We have our promo Mastai. Now, this, before the new stuff came out, I actually, funny enough, let Lumi take Mastai. I let him run it with this being the key piece of it. This Mastai is insane to begin with. Obviously, it's a lot of the same stuff, Mastai, 13 point cost, 5 Digivolve. This is purple on top of yellow, which is the big difference, which I think a lot of Mastai players are like, oh god, I have to remember, it's the other way around. But it has 2 insane when Digivolving effects. Like, we'll talk about the first one, which I never do first. I always do the opposite one. Normally I always play the body before I do the other one, but when Digivolving, recover 1. Then, if DNA Digivolving, you can choose any Tamer or Digimon on the board, put it to the bottom of its owner's security stack, and trash the top of your opponent's security stack. Which alone is insane, because you can get 2 recoveries off that, and your opponent loses a security. What it does, though, as well, it gives Mastai Tamer removal, which is, in and of itself, super strong, because like a lot of it does stop your opponent from playing the strategy they want, because their setup goes bye-bye. The other thing about it is, especially with the new Angelwomans and Lady Devies, this second when Digivolving effect is kind of insane, because when Digivolving, when attacking, by trashing the top security, you get to play I believe it's a 6000 DP or less from your trash purple or yellow, from your trash or hand, which, like, as I say, with a lot of the trash level 4s that play themselves out, this is potentially 2 other bodies. You have Alliance, probably, because of your new Angelwomans. It normally has Scapegoat now, probably, because of the new Lady Devies. It's harder to remove. It's good setup for the deck. Like, if this sticks around a turn, basically the next turn you have a free Gatomon, which probably will digivolve into a Lady Devi or an Angel, which gives you even more playability. Like, I think the barrier inheritable is what comes up so big for this, I feel, from the Gato. This is where barrier kind of becomes your bread and butter, because if they swing into you, like, especially playing a lot against Lumi, I play against a lot of the Zapaga. Barrier on this kind of becomes insane. On top of that, the synergy between that Masty and this Masty is kind of insane as well. Like, if you have this one, you're not just like, you could put, like, when digivolving recover 1, put one of their bodies in security, trash it out. This one then triggers to remove another body. Like, a lot of, like, what you do kind of, like, now seems like it has an end goal instead of just, I'm doing it for the sake of getting my thing viability. Another really great thing about this one, and I think you're probably going to touch on it from what you've played, because I think that's probably what it is the Gatomon, putting it back in security, getting more use out of it.
I was going to touch on that, yeah, like being able to recycle, like, your security Gatomon and being able to, like, just find ways to trash it and stuff. But no, the other thing I was going to mention, the 2 main Mastemon, so this one and the BT23 one, the reason why Alliance is so strong in the deck is both these Mastemons, so more so with the promo Mastemon, but when you initially digivolve into either of them, they set up that second body for Alliance.
Yeah, and literally no downside to it.
And this promo Mastemon can do that on every attack, so if the body you played out on the digivolve lives, on your next turn you go attack, well, that body you played out originally, you don't have to Alliance with, because you're going to trash security, play something out, and now Alliance with that new body.
It's potentially 19,000 DP swinging no matter what.
Yeah. So it is overall, like, they do synergize very well with the Alliance.
They also, like, a lot of what this deck has, like, become is a lot of synergizing alongside that Alliance. Like, and the removal, adding and removing from security, it's just kind of like, I feel like this Mastemon and the new Angelwoman Lady Devi kind of, like, solidified the purpose of you manipulating your security instead of, like, just being, I'm just going to get lots of security. Like, before, like, when we were running the structure decks and stuff, it was more just like, I'm just gonna blood my security, I'm going to trash to play my bodies, and I'm going to, like, put into my security to take out and then get no benefit from it. Like, now a lot of what we want to do is manipulating our security, like, triggers Togos, it triggers Padas, it triggers the new Gato, or the Gatos with the, when removed from security, it triggers the Masties, like, the only thing it doesn't trigger is the level 5s, and the level 5s are the ones that are letting you do a lot of it. So, like, a lot of it is kind of just insane setup. But yeah, honestly, this promo Masty is insane. Like, honestly, between it and... I honestly, like, I know I've said before, I wish I could put this to 4. Like, this at any lower than a 3 is, like, crazy to me. Like, because on top of that, this and this at 3 is just ridiculous. And that's something to point, because a lot of our lists had a specific ratio for these, didn't they?
Yeah, they had the ratio that you're playing.
They had the ratio? Was there not ones that had, like, a ratio of, like, 4 and 3?
No. Because
Or 4 and 3?
they were doing 3-3-1.
Oh, 3-3-1, yeah. I don't know. I think the ratio is pretty solid. I don't think anyone's going to argue with me on that ratio.
The bit that people disagreed on was the other things outside of Mastemon.
Yeah.
Like level 6 options.
Like, honestly, again, it's super solid. But we'll move on to the last Mastemon we're running, which is our Ace. Honestly, the Ace felt so rough until really recently. Honestly, it's still kind of rough. Like, the Ace is... It's not a huge body that you really want to see a lot of the time. You want to see other Masties. The Ace, you probably already know it. It's obviously Blast Digivolve, one from hand, one from field, Angelwoman, Lady Devi. When digivolving, you can play a level 5 or lower angel, archangel, or fallen angel. What do you call it? Then you choose a body on, I think it's just the field. I'll double check myself with that. Yeah, one other Digimon at the bottom of its owner security, and then your opponent trashes until they're 4. Again, it's solid. It's always been solid. There's been no disadvantage on it.
I mean, it's probably fair to say, out of all the Mastemon options you have, this is probably, like, the weakest one now.
Yeah, I suppose the only thing is if they have a Black Warriors, it's 12,000 DP.
I was saying, the thing is, its usage is so niche that it's kind of necessary as a piece to be there. It's similar to, like, the Andrew we touched on from EX6.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where there is probably a lot of times where you could probably feel yourself cutting this, and you have in testing cut this.
Yeah,
and
I feel like when you cut it, there's always that one time where it would have come up big, and it's why we went back to it. It's like, as you say, in testing we have cut it.
Yeah, it's one of those pieces where it's necessary to play. Because, like, 9 out of 10 games, it's probably never going to come up. You're gonna, every time you draw it, you'll wish it was one of the other 2 masters.
Yeah.
But those 1 out of 10 games, it's the piece that's needed.
Yeah.
No other piece will do the job. It's what's needed.
Yeah. And, like, I mean, I guess the one other thing that's good about it, although we have overflow on it, we now have Scapegoat, which makes it slightly less annoying. With the new Lady Devies, obviously, if they're going to remove this, you have Scapegoat. You can Scapegoat at a different line to protect it. One other bit that does matter, I feel, is to do with, obviously, our new Maste. Obviously, if this is on the board and you have the level 5 and they swing, and you do end up going into the ace, that is 2 removals, not just 1. Because you're playing 1 out, more than likely going to be the Angel Woman. Maybe not. But you're putting 1 in their security. If they have more than 4 security when you put it in, suddenly this turns on this during your opponent's turn as well. So you have 2 removals there. Honestly, like, it is, as Lumus says, very niche. So it is. A lot of it is just, I've seen better options before. I've took it out. I've put it back in. Honestly, it is that niche sort of one. I feel it just kind of has to be there. And it is one of the ones I wish we had something else for, but we don't. So we are running it. Probably a good idea. But we'll move on to our attack options for our level 6 and our level 7, because we are running 1 level 7. So, obviously, rocks, as I said before, we hate rocks. Rocks literally has everything we hate, because it de-digivolves us, it deletes our body, it means our ace is useless, it means our, like, partition's useless. It kind of, we struggle to deal with it, but we can. So one of the attack options, which has come up big in not just rocks, because I believe Lumi will agree with me, not just rocks, but like in a lot of games, has been Venusmon. When digivolving, give your opponent's board -1 security. Obviously, opponent's turn, it can't be attacked into. Anything with the security attack gets when attacking, can't activate when attacking when digivolving. You probably have more to say on this than I do.
Venusmon's proving its worth in the meta due to the fact of, like, not only are you running a tech piece, a lot of other Mastemon players are agreeing it's a good piece to run. They normally run this or Dominimon, but it's also one of the only level 6s that you'll see Hoodymon run if they run any at all. Like, so,
and bear in mind, it shuts off Hoodymon as well.
Yeah, so like that kind of proves its worth. But I mean, I can't remember the exact deck, but there was a video I was watching today, and a deck list came up, and the owner of the deck got questioned. He wasn't running a red deck. I can't remember what deck he was running, but it had part red in it, and he was running a Fire Rocket. And when asked about why you're running the Fire Rocket, his response was Venusmon, because it was Myotis Loop. It was Myotis Loop because, like, the loop can crash your opponent down 1-0 security, but thanks to Venus, you can't get the game winning hit.
Yeah.
So they ran Fire Rocket to get the security back to get the game winning hit.
Which is something to touch on, because I played against Royal Knights and I went into Venusmon and they couldn't end me, apart from the fact that they noticed it when they played out all their stuff. They had a Dynasmon and they had a security, and they just went trash the security, Dynasmon gains security attack +1. I'm now sitting for 1 jack, and I will hit you. And like, yeah, this is shut down so many times when people could actually kill me. And like, honestly, like sometimes just if you know a deck your opponent's playing, like in testing against you, you were testing obviously the level 5, you were practicing the level 5 Spagas, which have come up, the new level 5s, Grangales, and like, I just looked at your board state, looked at my board state, and went, Digivolve the Venus? And like, you were just like, yeah, that's...
The amount of times you have Venus spawned me just because you wanted to, there's been nothing better for you to do, and like
it's
my board in practice has posed no threat. Like you've had like all your security and stuff. Like in practice, there's been no reason to Venus spawn me. Like there's been no reason like to try and stop me. You can't close out the game. Like to a lot of people, like you're out of your mind. But then like I look at my hand and it's just like, I had the big play next turn.
Yeah, you just like a lot of what you have to think about when you're running Venusmon, like is how it's run, like when to go into it, because like you know there's got to be a big play.
It's one of the things. Like I've said this, like when we've done our practice games, you've gotten very good at instinctively just knowing when to drop this card. Like it is just pure instinct of just dropping it.
Yeah,
and
honestly, like the entire big purpose I put it in, yes, it shut down a lot of decks, but one of the biggest decks that I wanted to shut down was Rocks, because like Rocks I don't really have an answer for. Venusmon was the perfect option for that. But yeah, Venusmon is kind of stupidly good. And has proved its worth probably more games than I can count. Like,
and also to bring this up with the new Andrew, like, so this is one of the things. So your old one, the EX6 one, was as Archangel, Fallen Angel, and all that stuff. Where obviously the new one is just generic alliance.
Yeah.
So this, as well as your level 7 option, one we'll get into, where it comes in big. So it gives alliance to this still.
Yeah, so I can still swing a Venus and trigger alliance, which has come up before. The fact it can be attacked into is pretty good as well. Like they don't really have hugely good ways of removing it.
Specifically, they can't declare an attack on it.
Yeah, well, sorry, declare. Changing an attack target into it and stuff like that still works. But yeah, no, Venus, very solid. Cost of 4 Digivolve. I mean, it's a yellow vaccine as well. It was good when we were running the Kudomons, which we cut, because obviously you could search the Venus as well. But yeah, so we'll go into the last sort of tech option, which is our level 7. This is like the last Digimon card, I believe?
Yes.
It is. So it is Shine Greymon Room mode. Now, I believe if you've watched, like, I think it's come up before in a podcast, I believe. Like,
potentially. I'm going to be honest, I'm not fully confident, but there is a good chance it has.
Like, honestly, if you know Lumi's opinion on it, if you know my opinion on it, this card should be banned. But, like, yeah, Bandai says it's okay at 1, or no, not even. Bandai says it's okay at 4. We're running it as a one-off. We don't need it as anymore as a one-off. But, I mean, when it's a cost of 5, so it's a big evo into it. But, I mean, when Digivolving, yeah, your opponents, until the end of your opponent's turn, all their Digimon get minus 5,000 DP. I mean, shuts down most rookie players, or all rookie players, most champion players, so you normally need to be in a level 5 to do anything about this. And it's not even once, because if it's on the board and it survives, end of attack, it deletes itself, it recovers, it hatches, and it minuses 5k your board again.
It also deletes something on their board, so if there's something the minus TP is not going to deal with, it's going to delete that.
Yeah, which is kind of insane.
Which means you've got the potential.
You do have to have a Tamer on the board to use it.
But I mean, that's not really a problem.
It's not a hard thing.
But I mean, so that does give you the option though. Like you can go minus 5k 2 turns in a row. You can go minus 10k for 1 turn. Like maybe if they're already got a level 5 in the back and you're aware of that and you're able to keep turn, you can go right. I'm gonna minus 10k the board then.
And again, as you say, like the problem is like it's forcing them into higher cost players as well, because they can't use level 5. They either have to Digivolve in the back and hope you can't kill them, which realistically, if you're going into this, you probably can kill them. If they don't do that, like again, the Shine Greymon is like, what? I'm here, I'm big, I'm going to stop you doing things. You're going to have to commit a high cost play to remove me. And if they do commit that high cost play, that's basically a Mastemon. at this point, like a high cost play is basically a Mastemon.
I will say as well, thanks to like these two in comboing in general, like the amount of times that you have done either a room mode followed by a Venus or a Venus followed by a room.
I did it so much in Bristol in 3v3. Like, I think there was one turn where my opponent could do something. I went, I'll just Digivolve the Venus. And they were like, oh, cool, okay, so can't do anything, have to get through that. And then the next turn I just went Digivolve the room mode. And they were like, I can't do anything about that either. Like, it's actually quite insane how often these come up. Like, honestly, just shutting down your opponent for a turn, especially on Masty, and especially from what we have talked about, where I've went from 1 memory to 3 promo Masties, is like, it's kind of insane. Like shutting your opponent down for 1 turn with either of these is just kind of crazy in general.
So at this point, just to bring up the question of what, so we already kind of got a general idea of why I picked the Venus. Like, other people have picked Dominimon. There was at one point you were on Dominimon, but Venus is overall the better choice there.
Yeah.
What ultimately landed you on room mode? Because in other builds we've seen Fanimon fall down mode. I think that's the one you DNA into, right?
Yeah.
And we've also seen both Badamon as choices.
To be honest, we've tested Babalamon, and Babalamon is amazing in this deck.
Oh, 100%.
Like, he has literally won me games as well.
But what ultimately landed you on room mode?
Room mode, one shuts down. It shuts down rocks to begin with. Like, majority of their level 4s they can't raise on. So you're holding them back for a turn, which potentially just gives you enough, like, what would you call it? Enough momentum to take the game. Honestly, rocks was a big part of it, but like room mode in general, like so many decks raise on a level 3, raise on a level 4. Like even Hoodie Loop raises on level 3, raises on level 4. Like I feel like room mode shuts them down completely. They can't play searchers. Like he's just such a generically good card for that reason. And like, I honestly think like, yes, Ordinimon, yeah, okay, I can clear your whole board, but I have to get my board set up to do that. Whereas with room mode, I'm like, I don't need another Mastery. I just hard Digivolve into a room mode. I've maybe shut down the entire board like before, apart from maybe your high levels. But I've probably removed your high levels on a Mastery. So I've shut down your board exactly the same as Ordinimon. The only difference with it is, I feel, and this is personal preference, I've shut down your board next turn as well, whereas Ordinimon hasn't. That is literally the only reason. Like, obviously, this and Babaltamon shut down, obviously, your Omega check, but your fucking Partition Master shuts down your Omega check. Like, I mean,
to be fair, the deck doesn't really struggle with rolling.
Oh, no, we don't really. I did draw against them, but, like, you know.
Personally, from my point of view as well, I would say from one of the benefits I would see of running room mode compared to one of the other 2 level 7s. For the other 2 level 7s, to get the most out of them, like to get the maximum effect.
Your DNA.
You have to DNA, which means you need 2 bodies. Room mode, you don't. If you've only got 1 body committed, because that's all you got the memory for, it's a matter of like, well, I'm still going to do it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And I feel like he fills the slot of both Ordinimon and Babalda. Like, realistically, if you're on a Master, you've already shut down their level 6. Like, their level 6 should be gone. They shouldn't have 2 or 3 of them. The room mode shuts down their small bodies, so they're stuck with, if there is 2 or 3 big bodies, you literally, on your swing in the next turn, you shut down their level 6 anyway. So, like, I mean, you know, he's pretty solid in general for what he does, how he does it, and honestly, again, he's yellow-purple. He's searchable, he's a vaccine. I mean, yeah, I don't see an issue with running room mode. Like, I think room mode is the better option in current meta. Like, in future meta, maybe that extra swing of the Babalta DNA, that extra swing of the Ordinimon DNA. Yeah, I feel if you're running maybe the Gatomon we talked about earlier, or the Structure Deck Lady Devi, I understand why you're running Ordinimon more, because that's searchable from both them, whereas this isn't. But with the way we're playing the deck, like currently, yeah, this is the better option, and that is all our Digimon. Tamers, obviously, Tamers, I have seen a lot of Mastemon lists, and they've asked me why I'm running so many, and I thought we're on I thought I am on the generic number from what we've researched, but you guys can agree or disagree. Lumi does have comment sections for them exact reasons. But we'll talk about our BT11 Mirai, which we're running 3 of. 5 cost Tamer. This was always the rough part about this Mirai. It was 5 cost. It still is pretty brutal. Obviously, there's a Mirai we're going to talk about at the end of these Mirais, which makes this feel a lot better.
Never mind the Mirai, there's also an option.
Yeah, but we'll talk about the option card later. But yes, obviously, start of your turn, gain a memory. Really solid if you have 2 or 3. I've had 3 of these on my board at one point. Like, literally, sorry, you left me in 1 and now I'm 4. It's kind of crazy. Another point of it, which we've touched on earlier, is the fact when you digivolve, your turn bit, when you digivolve into a Lady Devi or Angelwoman, if this is your only Tamer, you can tap it to play out the opposite. That is so big, especially we talked about Mastemon. Like, Mastemon can put itself at the bottom of security after setting you up a Gatomon. You can digivolve, you can trigger the Mirai again if you have a second one. Like, you can do it again and again and again. As long as you have the pieces, you could do this. It is kind of scary. One of the big things I feel about this Mirai, though, and we haven't, a lot of Mastemon players kind of miss it. Well, not the ones that have been playing Mastemon for ages. This is alright to medieval gallant.
This is something that I brought up when after reading the card about a wording on it and stuff and how it's worded, with how it counters medieval in a way, because it was the biggest wall you were facing in
medieval is the biggest wall for Master a lot of the time, outside of rocks build a wall.
So with that, I went away and was trying to do some research of like how can we counter medieval to make it not as a problem, and it's when I stumbled upon this, and it was just like, you've got the answer built into your deck.
This is the answer right here.
Having 2 Mirais.
Yeah.
So specifically with how its wording is so with how Digimon effects and stuff work, when you digivolve and stuff, if you meet the trigger requirements, both the Mirais will trigger. So at that point, you can tap 1 down, play out another body. At this point, the on-play has to go next, but it's also now triggered the medieval, so which means the second Mirai is now in limbo at the bottom of the stack, ready to resolve. Your turn play, you resolve your on-plays and everything first, and at this point they can go medieval. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to go, yes, I'm going to pop one of these 2 lines to stop you DNAing. Well, at this point, we now go back to the second Mirai to resolve. The resolve requirement is if you have one of your Digimon. So you only have one of your Digimon, so you tap it and you play out the opposite body. The medieval's triggered, and you've got your 2 bodies for Mastemon.
Which is kind of insane. Like, honestly, like, we originally thought the Angelwoman and the Lady Devi cost reduction. Oh, that's great. If I'm on like maybe 3 memory, I can potentially go to a Masty still, even if they do medieval me in this. But yeah, 2 of these just apparently equal your medieval out. Because, yeah, it's kind of stupid. Really, really good. It's come up like 2 or 3 times.
It has, like, and like, honestly,
not only in testing, came up in the Bristol 3v3s when I was on Masty, because obviously I wasn't playing Masty for the main event. I just wanted to take a step back. But, like, yeah, against medieval, And
it generally shocks your opponent, from what I remember you telling me.
Yeah, he had to think about it, and he, like, had to read Mirai, and one of his teammates actually said, just call a judge, but he was like, no, it resolves the way he says, and it did shock him, it caught him out, and from that I was able to, like, play through the medieval, which, he was on Gallant, which was even more scary, but, like, he had no answer at that point, because I went to the room mode after I'd removed all security, and then the next turn, I just went and killed him, and, like, it's kind of, like, it's kind of crazy how much Mirai is valuable. This Mirai at 3, it's a cost of 5. You do want to see it, but you don't obviously want to see it right away, because obviously there's been games where I've just had to hard slam these and just been like constantly like it's 5, 5, 5 and my opponent's just like, yep, you're bricking. But, like, that happens with Masty, especially, like, it does happen. There's nothing you can do about that bit. But that's what the rest of the deck, after we talk about our EX6 Mirai, we'll talk about the rest of the reasoning why this cost 5 feels so painful.
I will say, ever since we discovered like the Ultimate Medieval with this, like you have felt so much more confident with medieval matchups.
Yeah.
Like that you've not really like if your opponent had a medieval, you've not worried that much anymore.
No.
Because you know you have it out. It's just making sure it's there.
That's it. Like we'll leave it up there though, because we're going to talk about the rest of our Mirai, so we may as well just keep our Mirais about. So we are running 3 of our EX 6, 7. 6 Mirais. I always forget the codes on these, but like yeah. So we're running 3 of them. This one cost a 4. Yeah, your turn. When a Holy Beast, Archangel, or Fallen Angel trait Digimon is played, you tap it and gain a memory. Then you may Digivolve that one into Lady Devi or Anjo from...
It's not even that one, it's you may Digivolve one of your Digimon.
Yeah, sorry, the one. Sorry, yes. It never really comes up that way for me, but yes, you are technically correct. It is 1. But, like, yes, and then it has an end of turn once per turn. You may DNA Digivolve. Which is, like, end of turn DNA on Mirai alone is so good. And I actually, it kind of leads me to a false sense of security sometimes, because if I don't have this, I've been like, oh shit, I can't end of turn DNA. I don't have the Mirai.
The amount of times in practicing you've done that.
Yeah, and like, I am getting better at it, but sometimes you just miss it. It's like you're so used to having it sometimes that you're just like, oh shit, I don't have it. Again, it's super solid. I don't think there's really much to touch on this one. It's just a super solid Mirai to have. Like, yep. It's key to your strategy of you don't care how many level 5s are here, you just want to Digivolve into them. But yeah, super solid, pretty solid Mirai. We have, like, literally... We've just went for the 3-3, and then we'll talk about our last Mirai. Not our last Tamer, but our last Mirai. We have the new BT23 Mirai. I say new, it's probably not really that new now, but like...
It's the newest one.
It's the newest Mirai we have, yes. Until we get our TS Mirai, and it's going to be insane. Going to be a memory setter, I'm calling it, that's how it's going to go. Lumi disagrees with me, never happening.
No, I agree there's going to be a time stranger Mirai.
You don't agree it's going to be Mastemon?
I don't think it's going to be related to Mastemon in any regard.
I don't think we can have a Mirai that's not related to Mastemon, but Lumi can live in hope. But yeah, so this is our cost of 3 Mirai. This has been the most solid addition to the deck that we have ever had. Trash a card with Holy Beast, Angel, Archangel, or Fallen Angel, or the CS trait to draw 2. That is its own play. And that is insane. That has been, like, ridiculous. When we were playing the Kudos, obviously Kudos are a Holy Beast. So you could trash a level 3 to draw 2. Obviously we stepped away from it, but yes, it's draw power, it sets up your trash, it is kind of insane, and it's not even its entire effect. Because we also have start of your main phase. You may, by returning this, so you basically get to go just send this to the bottom of the deck. You get to play I'm just going to double check my wording here, but you may play a cost 4 or higher Mirai or a play cost 4 or higher Tamer with the CS trait. So obviously both these are 4 cost or higher, so you get to play them for free, basically. And this is also something that synergizes with the BT11 Anjo Woman and Lady Devi. If you're on them and you have this and it's start a main, you just get to go bottom deck Mirai, play Mirai, gain a memory because you have played a Mirai. Like,
not only that, like being able to also play this Mirai.
Yes, we potentially don't like give our opponent tons of memory to play this Mirai. If they leave us on 3, this actually plays without passing our turn. Like, it's kind of insane. And it's also getting us deeper to the cards we want to see with the draw bar. Honestly, probably if I wasn't running something else in the deck, which you will see, we're keeping that one under wraps a bit, I would probably run this as 4. However, yeah, we're running it as the 3 of at the minute. Have not really struggled with much with this Mirai. This Mirai kind of comes up big every time we see it. apart from that, yeah, it's very solid Mirai. Highly recommended as a 3-off. But yes, so that's our 3 Mirais. We're running 3 of our BT11, 3 of our EX6, and 3 of our BT23. I mean, this is the only one I would change the ratio on. It would go to 4 if I had the space. Obviously, none of these have replaced our rookies. So obviously, originally when we started testing, we were in 6 rookies. We're now in 4. Well, we will get to that. So yes, our next tamer and our final tamer is TK. So remember I was saying we don't have level 4s in the deck? Yeah, this TK kind of fixes that. If I open this Pada and a level 4, I'm basically, you're seeing a Masty turn 1. There's no doubt in my mind, as long as I have get to the pieces, we're seeing a Masty. This insanely, it's limited to 1 for a reason. It takes the top card of security, that can trigger Masty, it replaces the bottom, it triggers Togo, it triggers Draw, it triggers itself to gain memory. Like, yeah, it's just incredible. Like, I don't see why we would never run this. And on top of that, its on play technically in Masty is not once per game, because we can bottom a security at ourselves if we want to get the recyclability of it. But yeah, so we run it as a one-off, as that is all we can run it as. I don't think there's much, I don't think there's anything you want to touch on with Mirais or this. I think I've covered most of it. But that leaves us with our last 4 cards, which is the big change, because originally these, I believe, were all rookies.
No, so you were playing this card as a 2-of for leading up to Galway.
Yes.
And then from going into Bristol, when you went to the 3v3, you upped this to a 4-of.
Yeah, although I do, obviously 2 of them came from rookies, but I think when we were originally testing, before we used this card, did we not like have more rookies in the deck or more? I can't remember myself. I think like this has been the biggest change of rookie counts, and like a lot of people are probably thinking like, oh, it'll probably be Amber memory boosts. It'll probably be something that. No, we have found a better boost. So this boost is called Digital Gate Open, and it's kind of insane for Masty, if we're being perfectly honest. Like the amount of like players that I've told that I'm running Digital Gate Opens to, like in Masty, have been like, oh, that's actually really cool. I never would have thought of that. Like, it's kind of like interesting in general. So like, yeah, we'll go through its effect. It's play cost 4, wee bit high, but still. It does ignore color requirements, which is kind of insane at all times. It just doesn't have any, like, it's like, it doesn't even say if you don't have a Digital Gate Open, face up, ignore color requirements. It just ignores color requirements.
So for clarification and ruling standpoint, that means you don't even have to hatch or anything. You can just play this card as if it was like every color in the game.
Yeah, and it's kind of insane. Its main effect is reveal the top 3, add a Digimon card, and add a Tamer card to your hand. Return the rest to the bottom, then place in battle area. I mean, that's pretty good in general. You're searching 3, you're grabbing 2 cards, which we're running like 10 odd Tamers. So
you're running 10 Tamers, so it's a good high chance of potential 2 cards. Any Digimon, any Tamer.
Yeah.
Touch on its security next, just because the best part of it we'll leave for last.
Okay, we'll leave the best part for last. So yes, it's security effect. You may play 1 Digimon card with a play cost of 3 or less from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then add this card to your hand. I mean, that plays Padas.
It plays Padas, it adds itself to hand so you can use it, it's pretty good. But its most busted part is its delay.
Yeah, so the delay effect. So, yeah, we discovered this. We decided it was really good because it triggers a lot of cards in the deck. I believe it triggers the Pada. No, not the Padas.
It doesn't.
Its security effect triggers the Padas, but its actual play effect is like insane. It triggers both our BT11s because its delay effect is you may play a Tamer card from your hand of the same color of any Digimon on the field. Basically for a reduced play cost of 4.
So because it says field, that includes the breeding.
So your eggs do count.
So if it was battle area, it has to be out and stuff. But because it says field, the breeding and battle area are classed as the field. So it looks at your breeding, and with the moment you hatch an egg, that Digitama is now classed as a Digimon. So it will still count for the delay effect. And because of how it's also worded, so for the sake of this with Mireis, they're yellow-purple, it doesn't have to match the color precisely, so you don't have to have a yellow-purple Digimon on the field to play a yellow-purple Tamer. If you just have a yellow Digimon on the field, you can still play the Mirei because it's part yellow.
Yeah, which this is kind of insane. Like, you can free play your draw Mireis, you can free play your level 4 or your cost 4 Mireis, and your now memory gainer Mireis, which I touched on before, is a cost 5, which always hurt, are now 1 cost. Your TK is also free.
Essentially, it's really funny because you're paying 4 for this, and then you're paying that forward to the next Tamer.
Yeah, and like at that point, if you're on a level 5, as we've said before, like this has come up so big in some games, but like if you're on that there BT11 Lady Devi or Angel Woman, like say you have 2 of them, you've partitioned, or say you've played another one or whatever, if you trigger the delay effect of this, you get to play a Mirei. That they both see that Mirei be played and they just go, cool, I gain 2 memory.
One of the things this card also allows you to do now is if you're against a deck that you know has like Tamer hate, so say like Black War, you can sit on this option card until you need the Mirei of choice, and then pop it to play the Mirei. Keep your Tamers safe in hand until they're needed, so they're not just sitting on the field.
Even touching that, the amount of times I have just raised on a Pada, started me in, looked at my security, got the level 4, Digivolve to it, and then I've just been like, you know what, crack the digital gate open, cost of 1, play down the Mirei, the BT11 Mirei, then Digivolve into the Angel Woman Lady Devi, and then just went, cool, Mirei seen it, tap, play the other one, gain the memory, like, DNA, like, it just leads to so many players. Like, this card is, like, I low-key think very underrated in a lot of decks, but this deck in particular, like, it does so much for Masty. Like, I didn't believe it until I played it as 2 of, and then, like, I was thinking, I wish I see Digital Game more often. Like, I'd play a Digital Game before I play Kudo. I mean, and then I was just like, you know what, I'm going to test it as a 4 of. And I don't think I've been punished for dropping the 4 rookies so far off of it. Like, it has made its worth. So it has. I don't know if you have much more to say on that either, but...
As you say, at the start, this card was very underrated. It is now seeing a lot more popularity in deck. A lot more deck lists are now seeing this.
Yeah, like, when we seen it, like, every player I talked to on Masty, not one of them was running a Digital Gate Open, and, like... I explained to them like the whole thought process, but I don't think even explaining to them does it justice. Actually playing this card in the deck shows so much more of what it can do compared to like actually like just reading it. Like if you hadn't even suggested this, like Lumi, I probably wouldn't have ran it like just at face value.
I'll definitely say it's one of those cards that if you don't already, pick up a playset.
100%. I'm on 3, I think, at the minute. I'm lending one of yours, obviously. We probably get one for Dusseldorf entry.
Yeah, we do. But it's one of those, like, even as like in general, like if you don't own a playset of this, try and get a playset, because like the deck you're playing today may not have room for it. It may not be good in it, but the next time that deck gets support, this may become like the next best card in it. Like,
I mean, it's I find it personally, I find it better than a memory boost. Like the Amber memory boost, yeah, you get 2 memory, cool. This gives you a Mirei. I think the Mirei is worth more than the memory, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those cards where it's just like we said for training, right? Like trainings was a card where it was holding that reduction back, and this is doing the same thing.
Yeah. And I think it's playing a boost, but it's holding back a free play of a Tamer. I've basically paid 4 to go, my next 4 cost or lower Tamer is free, but I've also basically done what a boost done and searched the top 3 cards in my deck for 2 options that are 2 cards that I need.
That's what I mean. It's like with trainings, we said you're paying in for in advance for when you need it.
Yeah. I honestly think this is, like, that's it. But that is the full deck profile, guys. I think, honestly, like, Masty as a whole right now, I have played it from the structure deck. That's where I started playing Digimon. I played Masty to begin with. And like I've always said, it had weird ratios. And like I never thought though I'd ever come to the point where I'm running 4 rookies. But I feel like that is kind of like where Masty can be at the minute. Obviously there's a lot more tech options that we'll not touch on today. But if you want us to go through them or anything, you can let me know. Obviously, we can go through them and stuff. Like, but in generic terms, like this deck, like I think like when we were playing at Galway, I 2-0'd everyone that I had Royal Knights, and I couldn't close out that game. And he won game 2 just by the skin of his teeth. And honestly, game 3 just went to time. There was nothing we could do about it. Obviously, then I had to play the next round, and lucky enough, I won that, and that got me my invite. Otherwise, I would have been playing it at Bristol. I honestly think if I played this at Bristol, like it would have done very well. I don't think anything. I will be obviously playing a variant of this in some way, shape, or form for Dusseldorf. Obviously, it's a big change. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at and how I feel it's went. I guess Lumi will do an outro for this. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything, just direct them through Lumi. And yeah, it was a pleasure going through it. Sorry, I'm not used to the 2-camera setup, hence why I keep looking away. Just used to down here. We will get better at that. Lumi's like shaking his head yes to me. But no, thanks for watching, guys, and hope you enjoyed.
So I hope you all really enjoyed that deck profile. Thanks again, Trevor, for bringing that to the channel. We've been needing Mastemon on here for a very long time, and if you've stuck to this end part of the video, if you've stuck all the way to the end, what I want you to do in the comments below, I want you to put in happy birthday Trevor, because today is his birthday. That being said, if you want to see any more deck profiles or get maybe any more in-depth than we did of Mastemon, also let us know in the comments below. But for now, catch you all later in the next one. Adios.